Intellectual property awareness is an understanding of what basic IP rights are. And that used to be just for lawyers. It wasn't even for lawyers, it was for patent attorneys. It was something complex and esoteric, and patents got filed away, and copyrights were kind of amorphous too. But today, innovation, content are so important, and products, that they have to be part of everyone's understanding. Everyone can understand something about intellectual property rights, and an awareness, a basic literacy, if you will, about IP rights is really essential.
Governments, officials, companies, everyone talks about IP and are aware of IP. The understanding of IP creates a gap, however.
Business is the worst on understanding of IP. You would think that this would be a case of physician heal thyself, and that would be true. Most CEOs and most boards of directors are very undereducated in IP, in my opinion. So they leave it to those who they consider to be the experts in the field, such as the legal department in almost every case, and there it resides. And it doesn't get inculcated into what drives the business forward.
IP is important because it really provides the root for innovation. We've looked at countries all over the world and found that as countries invest in stronger IP standards, they enjoy a whole host of benefits related to innovation. Better innovative output from their own economy with the jobs that go with that, better access to innovation from other parts of the world, access to venture capital and finance that then seeds the next generation of innovations. So, we've looked at a wide range of countries, and we've seen consistently that as they invest in increasingly sophisticated IP infrastructure, they see a whole host of benefits that otherwise they don't enjoy.
You'll notice that over time, of course, the United States, which was once a champion of IP, that other nations that have focused on development, of course, have adopted strong IP systems. The times that we were talking about earlier in the 80s, it was hard to get your intellectual property respected in places like Japan and Singapore and Korea. That's all changed, and it's a much different world that we're in.
In the music business, you see the real, true inventors, the songwriters, are very aware of this. They're aware of the extent of their rights. They're aware of the market failures. They're aware of how public policy and legislation and courts impact those rights, generally negatively for the last 30 years. And there's actually a lot of awareness, especially under songwriters.
Students are appreciating what was mentioned earlier in the conference, that there's an enormous amount of intangible value that is behind the pricing of publicly traded firms. What is the most tangible of those intangibles? It's property, intellectual property. So what we have to do is describe to them, make them oriented towards how this asset becomes important in how you effectively run your company, how you market, how you distribute, how you sell, how you think about capturing value, how you finance yourself, right? That is a management story, what is being propagated through the business schools.
Illinois Institute of Technology, by its name, is interested in innovation and technology, and therefore intellectual assets, intellectual property are critical to what is going on, not only at the research level with regard to the faculty, but also with what we are teaching students, whether it's in the College of Engineering, whether it's in the law school, whether it's in the Institute of Design. It's important to all of them.
I think it's important when we start students early thinking about what intellectual property rights are and how they apply to us, why they're relevant. Then it makes a huge difference, because a lot of times students get it a lot more than we do, especially at an early age. They understand how it applies to them, and that at the end of the day a lot of times is what people want to know. How does it apply to me? How does it impact me? And why do I need to follow this particular rule or this particular norm?
I think the economies of the world have realized that the market is controlled by innovation and invention. It's the new product that sells. And therefore, whether you're Chinese or Japanese or German, you recognize that your product needs to have that feature that attracts a buying public. That requires research. That requires development of new ideas and new research and new resources. And of course, those investments need protection, and that's where the intellectual property system pays benefits.